Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to talk about Green Lantern, Beware My Power. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. We are here talking about Green Lantern, Beware My Power, the animated movie from DC Animated Movies, Warner Brothers Animation, all that stuff. Yeah, we're out back in the pool. We changed locations today just for a change of scenery. But I figured we could talk about it out here because mainly this review is going to be short. I don't really know what to do about these animated movies anymore. I really did enjoy them when they first started up, like 10 or 15 years ago or so. And as they've switched producers and animation styles, and now as we move into this animation stuff that they've had since Superman Man of Tomorrow, what I would call the bold Sharpie marker look, with the thick bold lines, very animated, very not cartoony, but they're mimicking a comic book inking style. And looking very inked, looking very distinct, which is very cool, very stylistic. I don't mind it at all. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason the stories have just fallen short. The Man of Tomorrow film, while I thought it was okay, I liked the voice stuff going on there. I wouldn't call it great, but it wasn't awful either. Then we had Justice Society World War II, which was secretly a Flash film and not really about the Justice Society. I thought that was terrible. And then we had the two Batman Long Halloween films, which I thought the first one had some promise, and the second one just kind of left me feeling cold a little bit. So now we have the fourth one, or no, actually, fourth or fifth, depending on how you count Long Halloween Part One and Part Two. So now we have this one, Green Lantern, Beware My Power, and it's kind of like I'm kind of stuck. At one thing I'm thinking, this is pretty good, this is okay, but at the same time I'm thinking, I've kind of seen this story before. We get some sort of a weird amalgamation of Green Lantern Ion, Ranthanagar War, Green Lantern Rebirth, or also the Kyle Rayner origin story, and then they switch out Kyle Rayner for John Stewart. And I'm fine with John Stewart. I like him. I think Aldous Hodge, as his voice, does a pretty good job here. But everything else just kind of feels by the book. There's nothing new. They have Sinestro in here for some reason. They have Hal Jordan in here, and it turns out he's the big bad villain. And they're using the Zeta Beams to have a war between Rand and Thanagar. Why the Guardians were killed, why Hal Jordan went nuts, like all that stuff is just kind of, I don't know, it's not really explored, or it's just kind of left there as a surprise, as if you're going to be surprised when you find out why all these things happened, rather than questioning, is this really a good storyline to tell? Is this really a good story? And it might be just this, like the condensing of all these different storylines into something that you're kind of left like, man, I really wish they would have come up with their own here. It's cool to see all these things on screen. It's cool to see all these characters on screen. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like a Green Lantern movie, even though they're squishing all these Green Lantern storylines into one, because you have uh, Green Arrow and Hawk Girl kind of taken over. They know what to do as heroes because you have John Stewart playing the hero that doesn't know what to do. He's never been a hero before. So he's kind of playing dumb the whole time. And you have these other heroes who are in the Justice League, or Shayera's, she's a hero on her own home planet of Thanagar. They know what to do, so they're jumping into battle a lot more quickly and a lot more frequently than John Stewart is. So you're kind of left with this John Stewart movie where John Stewart's kind of unsure of himself. And they do have him battle, the big bad at the end of the film, but you're just kind of like, well, did I get to know him? Like they set up him being a soldier, a Marine, sharpshooter, sniper at the beginning of the film with some PTSD, stuff like that, which is fine. But I don't know, I just feel like I didn't know the guy in this film, as opposed to the version you had in JLU. And I'm not trying to compare it to that. I'm just saying I was excited to see a new incarnation of John Stewart, Green Lantern, and I feel like he's kind of sidelined in his own film. So I don't know. So I'm not sure how these DC animated films are going to go. I skipped Catwoman Hunted simply because you know, it didn't appear to be that interesting to me. Although I heard it was, it got some good reviews. But I'm sure this one's gonna get good reviews too, and I can't imagine why though. With some of these films, I'm like, are we all watching the same thing, or have you not watched? Maybe I'm getting too old. Maybe I have watched too many of these things that it's now clouding my brain. I remember being 23, 25, and listening to older folks who were still comic fans and stuff, and they were saying this new stuff doesn't compare to the old stuff, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I was reading the new stuff going, this stuff's awesome. Have I turned into that guy? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Because I try and judge everything standing on its own, but you can obviously see where the influences and the parallels are drawn here in this film, so it's hard not to call them out. Um, but I'm not sure. So is it worth your time? I don't think it's as bad as Justice Society of America, World War II. I think it's better than those. I thought they were kind of abysmal, boring slogs of Batman: The Long Halloween. But is it a great Green Lantern film? Like I kind of rather watch the one with Christopher Maloney and and the one after that. You know what I mean? From 10 years ago, First Flight and Emerald Knights. I really like those. I think they're more pure in terms of being Green Lantern films. Because this one I think is bogged down in the Justice League of it all half the time. So, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5 if I had to give it, since I didn't really like it. But I could be swayed. So that's kind of where I'm like, is it a 2? Is it a 3? But we're going to call it a 2 here in the pool of BK's bullets. So, let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.